one primary takeaway is that as brands, we are the ones who are at the driving seat and most accountable for ad spend, and hence we got to be the ones who got to push the system, which is whether it's the tech providers, the big tech partners, the media partners, or our agencies, to make sure that we get more transparency into the every dollar and cent that we are spending, which is hard-earned company money. And that's something is something that lies with us as brand marketeers.
One of my biggest key takeaways from today is that there's an opportunity in Southeast Asia, whether it be for an industry body or for a new company to come in, to basically put in and mandate do's and don'ts around this, build in industry standards, and really help agencies and brands and the wider ad tech industry to build some direction and put in place things that will help to continue drive transparency and efficiency for digital.
So I think for me, I really like the key takeaway of where we're heading in terms of SPO. The future of adoption of SPO technology and automated solutions as a standard. I really like the point brought up about having audit standards. So we're probably going to need to evolve into using more of these solutions so that we're more synonymous with not just efficiency, but transparency and quality at scale. A personal reflection for me from this session is just hearing what all of the other attendees are doing. It's prompting me personally to revisit if we are doing enough and we're placing enough time and resource towards this. And does this conversation need to be revisited? What can we as an organization do more towards driving transparency in our region?
There is consensus that cheap is not always, or cheap or low price is not always an everlasting proposition. And I think at some point or the other, quality trumps. And it's good to see that there is consensus that we need to stand up and advocate for the quality of the inventory as opposed to the price. And this is true for both ad impressions as it is for fish and apples. So I think that is another key aspect. And then I think the whole aspect of the bitterness of low quality remains long after the sweetness of low price remains. So I think that to me sort of summarizes the discussion today. And it's good to see all of us sort of being aligned in that direction.
The brands represented here have really shown true thought leadership in how they're thinking about transparency and supply path optimization. And so my takeaway is that the strategy is there. The need now is really around implementation and activation of those strategies. So I would love to see those tactics developed, maybe leveraging some of the newer reporting that we talked around, or the supply path management tools, or even a curation platform. And with cookieless coming in 2023, now is the time to really partner across the industry on both identity and transparency too.
We all agree that it's probably hard to achieve 100% transparency, but if ever, there's a chance for brands, tech partners, and even our agencies to come together to some sort of establish certain, data sharing principles or standards to help out in the entire SPO journey, I think that will really help to enable transparency for the industry.